okay. On making a motivator. This is what I know so far. What's the date? I don't know. Is it the 29th? I think it's the 29th of September. What I originally set out to prove was that you don't need marketing and you don't need a budget. You just need to be a good person. And so far, having spent $0 on said things, it's really great that my turning off for no apparent reason. Having spent $0 on marketing, having spent $0 on like joining groups that would essentially help you boost, because there are like quick fix answers that can get you there faster. And I started this wanting to prove that you don't even need those, that like doors will open for you. And honestly, when I originally set out, it was like two things. One, there was no way in hell my husband was about to be like, yeah, you know what? Here's all this money. Go crazy. So like I had no money to invest in this. And if I was taking all my money and throwing it at this venture, it'd make my husband super spiteful about this work. So I just vowed for that reason and for the pure fact of like, this is truly what I believe. I truly believe that you can just show up in this world, put in the work, and like, I haven't seen it happen in this space, right? Like now I'm seeing it, but I didn't believe that it was possible. I just knew that it had worked for me in other instances. And I knew and had seen a ton of, from my marketing background, a ton of money being poured into places and campaigns and supporting things, and those things failing anyways. So I had sort of been proving this hypothesis right in my 10 years as a marketing professional. Like organic, and I've said this my entire career as a marketing strategist, organic and word of mouth is always going to serve you best. And I believe podcasting specifically is one of the most organic generating population of people. Like I never search for podcasts. It's pretty rare. I generally rely on what people share with me, what I see in my feeds, like that's it. So knowing that and knowing that I come from that background where I've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted on supporting things that weren't good. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter how much money we put into it, because at the end of the day, it didn't change the metric. The end metric didn't change. And so when I started all of this, it was like, let's just go there. Let's go there. Let's see if this is even possible. And like, what a huge risk, right? Like, I'm betting my life and the things that I want to do, the marks that I want to make in this world on this very idea, right? That's crazy. And what I can tell you is, I don't think I'm wrong. Right? So, like, if I end up proving that this is true, that means there's no excuse. And I had plenty of them. And I set out to prove those excuses wrong. That was most of my work in the beginning, is like, you have to have money and you have to have privilege. And that's the only way to get your message out there. That's the only way to have a voice. And it's not true. And I hope that to be the biggest piece of this story and what this all ends up becoming is like, You can. You can, and you absolutely have the right to show up for the things that you want in life, no matter how crazy they seem. Because I can tell you, when I first started, like telling myself that I was going to invest nothing, essentially, in this business, but I was still going to grow it. And I had no idea how, but that's what I was going to do. That's like a big, huge risk. And that's crazy compared to the other people doing this work out in the industry. But that's a part of who I want to be known as. And I don't know. I'm starting to see the trickle-down effects of the amount of work that we put into this, me, that I have put into this. And I'm starting to see this reality that it's actually possible. And like, that scares me. That should scare all of you. It's like, anything that you want to do, most of the things holding you back are just your mind. They're not reality, right? And like, I was obsessive and crazy and put myself out there in ways that went in the exact opposite direction, right? Like, that was intentional. I intentionally invested no money to just prove that you don't have to have money and privilege and access to do all of these things. Or followers, or like, there's no one thing that's going to grow it. The one thing that's going to grow whatever it is you want to do, the one thing that's going to support you moving in that direction is you. And that's the only important thing. If you can keep yourself going, right? And that's what I knew on those low days. Like, if you just keep going, because a lot of people won't weather that storm, that low day. A lot of people won't keep showing up. And if you can just outlast them, easier days are on the horizon. And that's just what I kept telling myself. Like, eventually you'll get there and you'll just go, you know what? Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much for just sucking it up for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or wherever the lowness came in. Like, thank you. Because that person leads to the person you want to become. That person sees and feels the lowness and never wants to go back there and keeps waking up and keeps showing up and keeps pressing. That person, that experience is what will carry you through to the end. As long as you don't quit there.